The people of the city and county of Honolulu said, look, we really want to make Oahu a bicycle-friendly place. So much so that they passed a charter amendment. And then the Oahu Bike Plan started being put together and was formally adopted in 2012. And it does include 310 miles of various levels of bike lane or paths or even sharrows on city streets, and 559 miles on state highways.
An informational meeting was held to get the public's feedback on several proposed bike lanes the city plans to build in the Honolulu urban core area. The meeting was well attended by cyclists, residents, and business owners.
Last night at the Waikiki Neighborhood Board, there was a concern about the King Street cycle track, and that was that cars are still stopping behind parked cars. And I think that we need to just remind people that it takes a while to get used to something new. I mean, there are still people who get stuck between after parked cars on Kapiolani, and I've seen them stop behind cars up by the Humane Society. So when those concerns come up, I just think we need to remind people that that still happens, and we just need to get used to something new.
Change is hard, but I'm old enough to remember when they made King Street in Beretania one way. The outrage, the anger, the letters to the editor, unbelievable. What are you going to do? You're going to cause accidents. We used to going two ways, not one way. This is outrageous. How are you going to turn left, right, depending on where you're coming from? Can you imagine if we made those two streets two ways again? Outrage. How can you change this? This is dangerous. So change is hard. But I'm asking for people to travel with us on this change and to help us be better as we change.
We're not here to dictate to the community. We want the community to tell us what they would like to see. So it's a two-way conversation, and you're going to have an opportunity to give us your comments tonight, and then we'll take those comments and go back and do our best to make sure what we build reflects what you want.
The city has conceptual designs for bike lanes on South Street, Ward Avenue, and Macaulay Street. For South Street, the city plans to build the protected bike lane on the Mauka side of the street. Part of the one-way street will be converted to two ways, and several parking spaces will be eliminated.
This is what we're proposing for now. Rather than, in King Street, where all those small businesses are located, in that case, we really felt like keeping the on-street parking was very, very important to them. In this case, it tends to be more larger buildings, not so much little mom-and-pop shops. And so, in this case, we're thinking that it's okay to remove the on-street parking. In our mind, it's a matter of trade-offs, it's a matter of compromise. As I said,
Compromise is what Caldwell is asking from the public.
It's easy to go to one side and shout at the other. And there are people who are shouting. You read the letters to the editor about our protected bike lane and getting rid of it, and it's hysterical at times. So I'm asking us in this room to continue to work towards compromise and to reach out to those drivers who may be upset, those merchants who could be concerned we want to address. We want their businesses to thrive. And I believe that what we're doing with protected bike lanes is going to ensure that their businesses do thrive. But remind each other to continue to compromise as we go forward with this protected bike lane proposal that we're going to be rolling out.
We're looking out for not only ourselves, but our kids. Our next generation who are going to live, work, and play right here in the urban core and in communities around the island. There's no way we could get to where we want to be, where we feel comfortable letting our 12-year-olds, our children, bike off to school, or letting our other friends go to work and back every day without changes in order to protect them and make it comfortable to get from point A to point B.
According to city data collected in a 12-hour period before the King Street protected bike lane started, only 380 bikers were counted traveling on King Street. Now, 700 cyclists use a two-way lane.
we've seen a big jump in bicycle ridership and a big drop in bikers on the sidewalk. So before, 2/3 of the people were riding on the sidewalk. Now only 7% of the people in the corridor are riding on the sidewalk. So it's good for bikers, it's great for pedestrians.
At first, the bike lane was one way going Diamond Head direction, but after hearing from the public, it was converted to two ways, and the city removed 11 parking stalls on King Street for safety reasons.
We went door to door to all the businesses to get their feedback. And as you might have heard in the press, not everybody's happy with the bike lane. Not every business is happy. Not every business has felt like they've suddenly received, new business or anything. But we have received positive feedback, which is worth mentioning. And in fact, all of these businesses have said yes, they do think it's a good idea. They've supported it. As I mentioned, we're out there, we're talking to the community. We're going to do the same thing on South Street. We'll do the same thing on any street that we're considering putting these types of facilities on, because we do want the feedback. It's very, very important for us. If you can, please go to our website, honolulu.gov/bicycle. Provide comments. You can look at the proposed protected network. There's opportunities to provide feedback, and we want to hear about it, because the plan is to move forward with South Street in the next few months. But before we do that, we want to be very, very careful about the final details. And so if you have any other thoughts, please let us know. Thank you very much.